Hello, fellow rock tumblers. It has been 17 days since I have checked the rotary tumblers. It's been cold and I've been lazy, and I'm running an experiment. And that is to see what happens if you just let this stuff roll for 3 weeks and 17 days and not do anything with it. My intention was really just to run it for 2 solid weeks and then check it, but yeah, a couple of days ago it just didn't happen, so we added a few more days to that. So what we're running here are 2 3-pound barrels and 3 1.5 pound barrels. All the other tumblers or rotary tumblers are off. I'm not starting any new projects with these. And these are 5 different stones that have needed additional time, all in stage 1, 60-90. So these are the White King's Quartz, the Rose Quartz, the Ametrine, the Prairie Agate, Carnelian, Black Onyx, Green Tree Moss Agate, and I think there's Australian Lace Agate and Ocean Jasper in there too. So there might be a couple barrels that are mixed. So let's clean them out and find out what kind of a mess we've got. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so this is our Ametrine and Rose Quartz and White King's Quartz barrel. And the bottom of the containers look like that. We're rolling against each other. So it's rubbing. So there was a little bit of damage there. But let's open it up and see what we have. Wow, the water level went all the way to the top, and this was only 2/3 when we started, so I'm concerned that a lot of this has disintegrated. Oh, no, I don't know why there's so much in there. So it doesn't look that bad, it's not all ground down. I'm going to turn the water on, so it's going to be a little loud. And this is going into a bucket, not down the drain. So 2 full buckets or 2 things of water, and it's rinsed out really well. I am going to scrub this, but I'll do that on camera. Actually, I'm going to continue to use this to rinse the stones. Excuse the eyeball. How you do it in the wintertime. Then this bucket will go outside and get dumped in this place I have designated for it, the backyard. It's looking really beautiful. Some Citrine, Ametrine, gosh, White Quartz. All right, I'm gonna give this another rinse, and I'm gonna take it over to the bench, and then we'll do an inspection. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, now we've got our Carnelian and Prairie Agate that's been running 17 days in state, or oh gosh. Now look at the difference in this barrel compared to the other one. The other one was filled almost to the top, liquid-wise. And now this one just looks real super muddy. It's really interesting to see how these are different. Let's rinse this off here. Oh gosh, this is really muddy. Yeah, it's not too bad. Clean this barrel better off camera. Alright, our bucket's getting full here. I'm going to have to go dump it outside. And then we'll do the inspection of the Carnelian and Prairie agate when we come back. Okay, just a minute. Welcome back to Crystal Wellness Studios, everyone. It's been 18 months since you've last heard from us, and as you can see, the last video we had featured our mixed adventurines that were finally all caught up, finished, and polished. And they're still sitting here, and it's been 18 months. Life happens to everybody, and sometimes you got to put your projects on hold. But now we're back to it. We're all committed to do 2024 projects, and we need to find out, where did we leave off? So our project board helps to tell us how many weeks stones have been in certain stages. So we've got that board to get through. We've got current projects that are in various stages waiting for more stones to catch up. We have stones that we didn't even finish looking at from our last batches 18 months ago. These barrels were filled with water, and as you can see, it's completely dried up. So who knows what the condition of the stones are, but we're gonna find out. Our vibratory tumbler lies empty and waiting. Our rotary tumblers are empty and devoid of any new projects, but we've got a ton to start. We have a total of 12 barrels and a lot of things to finish and a lot of things to start. We've got Michigan, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, and Lake Huron stones all in these bags here. So we'll be doing some beach find runs and videos on that. We've got a ton of things like scolite, mookites, quartzes, apatite, more quartzes. We've got a ton of jaspers. We've got dolomite, rhyolite. We've got all kinds of things that you've never heard of before. So we've got a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing in 2024 and 2025, and I can't wait to get started again. So give me a moment to clean up our station, put these stones away, and we'll come back and do a quick recap of where we left off and what we're going to start new. Join me for the 2024 rock tumbling adventures. Let's get started. All right, in front of us we have a spreadsheet I created that will list the stone name, the MOHS hardness of the stone, the rough start weight, and, well, I never sell these, so it's sellable finished weight's not even a point. But we have on here the stage that we'll put in here, the barrel size, the grit type and amount, the date the project was started, the time of day I started it, date ended, time out. So I know like roughly how long everything spends in each stage, how many days in the stage, and then any particular notes. So this is a blank one, and sometimes we need several of these to get a project finished. So for example, this is our current project of Green Tree Moss Agate. It is a MOHS hardness of 6.5 to 7. The start weight was 2 pounds. I did a pre-stage 1 in a 3-pound barrel that was in the 4670 silicone carbide grit. And I used 2 tablespoons, and I put in baking soda, which is the BS on here, of 1 tablespoon. So that's what went into the barrel. I was started on September 15th of 22 at 2:45 in the afternoon. That stage ended on October 21st at noon. So it spent 18 days in pre-stage 1. Not every stone that you're going to do is going to need to be in such a heavy grit to start, but those particular stones needed a lot of work, so I wanted to give them a jump start. There was no ceramics put in the first barrel, and then the second time, so that was on September 15th, no ceramics. On October 10th, we cleaned the barrel and we recharged it. And then the arrow means to look at the back for more notes. So here we are again. My observations on September 15th of 2022, no ceramics, a 3-pound barrel, 2 tablespoons of 4670, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, no borax. It said I was out, so I guess I was waiting for more to come in. Then on September 22nd, because I do everything in a 1-week cycle, the next cycle was on September 22nd, and I cleaned the barrel for vacation and put it on hold. Then on October 10th, I was back from vacation, restarted the barrel, recharged it, added borax this time of 3 tablespoons. Then on the 21st of October, let it run for 11 days. The slurry was thick, the wash cycle, and then moved it to 6090, which is the actual stage 1, 6090 silicone carbide. I put in 2 tablespoons and 3 tablespoons of borax, and then I added ceramics. On the 29th, I had thick slurry, recharged it, ran it again in 6090, and there was the amounts. And as you can see, this tells me exactly what I'm doing and when I put things on hold and why and what's going on. So it looks like we're still in stage 1. Now remember, everything's been on hold for 18 months, so it doesn't take 18 months to run stage 1. It's just we had stopped in December of 22. So there was lots of damage in the barrel, and we moved it to a 3-pound barrel and recharged it, because evidently we had moved it up to something else somewhere up in here. So if we set these notes aside, Green Tree Moss Agate has been sitting, waiting for me to get back to it for 18 months. The barrel dried out. I've cleaned the barrel. It's currently on the rack drying. These stones have got, like as you can see right here, there are deposits from the water evaporating. Those are hard water mineral deposits. So we need to wash that off. Got my little 6090 toothbrush here. I'm going to clean it, kind of see the condition. All these stones, because they've been sitting, are going to go back into whatever stage that they've been sitting in. I've got 5 barrels here to investigate, and they're all going to go back for a 1-week cycle to kind of refresh them and get us back up to speed. So let's see the condition. Oh, that's interesting. There's kind of like a shine mark. It's looking fairly smooth. There is some pitting, and I want these little pits to be ground out, especially on this side. Normally we like to inspect the stones completely wet. We don't want them to dry out between cycles because grit, if grit where it was in these little pockets, it'd be like cement now. Would never be able to get it out without a lot of time in 6090 silicone carbide grit, which is stage 1, to kind of grind away the stone to get to it. Thankfully I did wash these stones fairly well before everything stopped. But so I'm pretty certain all these stones are going to go back in I'm inspecting them for damage for sitting for so long. I'm not really inspecting them to move forward because none of these are going to move forward. They all need more time in 6090. And I just know that from where we left off. Boy, when it's wet, the pattern really comes out. It's going to be really pretty. This is going to be really fast, this inspection. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to do this off camera to save time. But just let you kind of see the patterns that are emerging. This video is more a journal for myself to see what damage happens to a stone if you just forget about it and leave it sitting on the shelf for 18 months. And since they're billions of years old, I'm not anticipating damage. That, I don't know what that is. It might be grit. I hope not. It could just be crystal from the Druzy pocket. Well, we'll find out next week when it comes out of, just gonna dump them all in here. Might just come out next week. We'll find out. We'll take a look. All right, it doesn't appear that the MOHS agate was damaged. It just had a couple little hard water minerals deposits on it that looks like it's brushing off really easily. So I'm going to go through, clean all this, recharge the barrel. It's going to be in a 3-pound barrel. I'm going to put stage 1 6090 silicone carbide grit in there. I'll put some borax in the barrel, and then I'm going to put it on the tumbler, on the rotary tumbler, for a week, and we'll check back next week and see our status of what's going on with it. And I think that that's going to be the process that we're going to do for all these 5 barrels that are sitting here. So this is the Ocean Jasper that we were not happy with. It looks like, what else is in this barrel? No, it's just Ocean Jasper. Okay. And then we've got black onyx in this barrel. Again, when I had stopped the process, I had put water in the barrels thinking I was going to get back to it, and I didn't want, anything to be detrimental. And we're okay. So here's some rose quartz, White King's quartz, Citrine, Ametrine. It's a mixed barrel. And again, all these are going to have to run one more time, so there's really no point in being on camera, with all this stuff. You guys have seen videos ad nauseum on this. This looks like real danger here. This is a Prairie agate, and that is a bunch of grit. Now, as a quote-unquote experiment of what happens when you let grit dry in a crevice, and how are you going to get it out, because it's like cement now. I mean, I couldn't chisel that stuff out, so we're going to put it back in 6090, and we're going to see if that does any help whatsoever. So we're going to know that we've got one stone in here that unfortunately has got a lot of grit embedded, and we're going to find this is not moving forward to another stage, so we don't have to worry about cross-contamination. It's going back into 6090, so even if there's any grit that comes out of here, it's going to be the same caliber that it's sitting in, so it's going to be a moot point. We just want to get it out of those crevices. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think this stone's destined for the garden. It's just going to be a problem. But people did ask, you know, what happens if grit does get cemented in there? What's the process to fix it? We're going to find out. Okay, we will be back shortly. Okay, we're in a 1.5 pound barrel. Green tree moss agate, 6090 in today's date, July 10th. In here we've got water up to the bottom layer of the top, up to the bottom of the top layer of stone. We have 1.5 tablespoons of 6090 silicone carbide. That's the gray stuff, and the white powder that you see in there is the 1 tablespoon of borax. And then we are going to, whoops, seal it up and put it on the tumbler. Get this all make sure it doesn't leak. Give it a little bit of a shake. All right, this is all ready. We'll see this next week. Okay, we are back with Sera Jasper, which we have gotten the barrel ready for its run in 6090. As you can see, the barrel's only half full. So what we're going to have to do is add ceramics to get the volume in here, because I don't want to put any other stone in with this project, and I don't have any other 6090 rough laying around waiting. So I'm going to grab some 6090 ceramics. Which I have right here. And we're going to just add it. We want to get the volume to about 2/3 full. Let's see. I think that's going to be enough. All right, we'll wrap this one barrel up and get it on the tumbler, and we'll see it next week. Okay, that's 3 1.5 pound barrels recharged and ready to go for a week on 6090 silicone carbide grit stage 1. That is our black onyx, our green tree moss, and our Sera Jasper. Okay, we'll see them next week. All right, we are up to our 3 pound barrels. This one has 4 stones in it. It has white king's quartz, the green citrine, rose quartz, and ametrine. So we will see this next week. It's all recharged for another week of 6090. Okay. And this is the last barrel of the 2022 wrap-up year for all those projects. Yeah. So put this on the tumblers with the other ones. So we've got 6 stones in those 2 barrels that are still in 6090 that are trying to catch up to stuff that we've got set aside for stage medium. And then these 3 little barrels we've already discussed. So 1, 2, 3, 8 total stones, 9 total stones in those 5 barrels. We'll see them next week. Okay, I hope you join me because we're going to start some new projects. Be back in a moment. Alright, fellow rock tumblers, it's time to try something new. We're going to do some picture jasper. This is 2 pounds. This is raw. This is from the rock shed. Oh, isn't this awesome? Look at this. Alright, let's get it wet. And look at those colors pop. Oh, I am so excited about this. Alright, we are going to fill a 3-pound barrel. Got our fresh 3-pound barrel here. Oh, wow, this is really pretty. Let's take a look at some of this to start with. Oh, it's got dust on it. Look at the patterns. They're just really cool. Look at all that. Sweet, I love starting new stuff. Alright. Let's get this barrel charged and we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. We have 2 tablespoons of 6090 silicone carbide for grit, and we have 2 tablespoons of borax, and I need to find the baking soda and put that in here too. Anytime you start a brand new stone from scratch, you should put some baking soda in the barrel to help with the burping so that the barrel doesn't open and explode from built up gases. Once the first run has gone through, you no longer need to add the baking soda. So it's to get rid of any organic material that might be in there and not react well and build gases. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. We had to get a brand new box of baking soda out of the pantry because I was out. So we're going to get this open and then we're going to add one more to this. Hang on just a second. Okay, now we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda to help prevent gases from building up in the barrel on this first one. It's the only time we add baking soda. Let's add some water just to the bottom of the top layer. Alright, on this very first week that we run this, I want the most grindage to happen as possible, so I'm not putting any ceramics in this. This is a MOHS 7 stone, so it can take quite a bit of a beating. So we're going to let this baby run for a week and we will see it next time. And we're going to keep this piece right here out as a control so we can see how much difference happens. So this is our rough picture jasper. Isn't that pretty? Look at the bands in that. I love the scenes in this. I guess that's why they call it picture jasper. Alright, there seems to be a little bit more room in here. I'm going to try and add a couple more pieces without overpowering this barrel. I think I'll keep all those out. Yeah. Okay, we're going to button this up, which is just putting a lid on it. Put the cap on. Washer, knurl nut. Then I'm going to label this and put it on the rotary tumbler and we'll see it next week. Yay, new project, picture jasper. Oh, how exciting. We're starting a new project. This is Sera Jasper with a MOHS hardness of 7 and we got it from Miko's Mine. We are not getting any kickbacks or anything for this. It's just where I bought it. It's all, everything is purchased by me and all opinions are my own. So this is it dry in the raw, and I like how they've cut it. It's like pretty square. you know, what they've done. It's unusual. A lot of times you just get crushed stone. They've actually like squared it off into blocks, which I think is really interesting. It's like, look at the host rock and the colors. So this is it, dusty and dirty. Look what happens. Oh, you would never know when you wet it down. Look at the difference. Wow, this is really cool. Holy cow, look at the difference. My goodness. Ooh, a lot of greens in there popping. Look at the patterns. Holy cow. I'm loving this. I hope it really is a MOHS 7. Because I'd hate to lose a lot of mass on this. These are pretty big chunks, but I'm going to put them in a 3-pound barrel and see what we can do. Holy cow, look at this. It doesn't even look real. It's really interesting how the mine did that. My problem is that I'm afraid that with these pretty even sizes that I'm not going to get a lot of movement in the barrel. So I may have to put ceramics in here in order to get the grit to move around and to keep these things from locking up. Because what I can foresee happening is you're going to get two pieces together, and this is all that's going to happen. You're not going to get any grinding. So, yikes. We're going to have to do something because we want to get movement in the barrel. I'm going to have to add some ceramics to get that motion. Wonder if I could mix a secondary stone with this and put this in a bigger barrel so that we can get different sizes. I really want to run it by itself though. Alright, we'll just add some ceramics. Be right back. Okay, trying to get you a better view here. So we're putting ceramics in here as we go to try and keep this beautiful, really pretty stone from locking up on us. Oh, just knocking everything over here. So that might be too big. Here's one that we've got that's kind of... I don't know how much movement we're going to get in this. I have a bad feeling this is going to lock up. Huh. Yikes. Trying to get some smaller 6090 silicone carbide ceramic media. We've got it per stage, so alright, that's all I'm going to put in there. As you can see, there's a whole lot left, but I'm going to give this the best chance I can. In a 3-pound barrel. I mean, I've got a 4-pound barrel, but I kind of wanted to keep this for, I don't know, most people have 3-pound barrels. This is all I'm going to do. Alright, we're going to put a teaspoon of baking soda in here. And I will go get the borax and the silicone carbide and be right back. Alright, we're back with our 6090 stage 1 silicone carbide. Put 1, 2, lock that up. We've got our borax. Put 1. I'm going to throw 2 in there. Lock it up. Okay. We need water. We need more water than that. Let's Good thing I've got all these things sitting around here. This is just tap water. Here we go. Oh, I'm so excited for new projects. All right, if this doesn't lock up on us. It's going to be interesting. It's the first time I've bought product from this mine, and it's very interesting that they cut it on a table saw instead of crushing it. So, we'll see what happens. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know if I really hear a lot of movement. Okay, we'll see this next week. I love new projects. Hope you do too.